Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend,
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to us, of course.
Naturally, and interesting is the key word for today. So many interesting things going on to talk about. So, before we dive in, as always, this is a live interactive broadcast. It is July 13th, 2022 at
Boom,
8:01 p.m. on the
boom.
Pacific time. What are we in? Standard time right now. So, it's not daylight time. Or is it? I can never remember.
No, it's right now. It's daylight savings time.
Okay, so Pacific Daylight Time. Perfect. There we go. So it is live and interactive. And what does that mean, James?
That means that we want your comments, your questions, your what you're thinking about, and we might just bring it in, and sometimes that actually changes the direction of the show.
Absolutely. So if you've got some comments or some thoughts, share them up in the chat. Whether you're on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, it's all there and available for you to message us.
Look, we got a Twitch message already.
Man, with a quickness. Yeah. So, anyways, it's a new day. Yes, it is. And
yes, it is.
I think as we tend to normally do here on the Fat and Black Connection, we need to start off with some beverages. My friend, I've got with me a 4-pack of the Broken Skull, El Segundo, Broken Skull, Steve Austin's IPA. What? So I'm going to go ahead and crack one over here. What you drinking?
I actually have. This is one I haven't seen yet. So I found a Sam Adams summer pack today, and it's called Tropical Wheat Ale. So I'm interested. I'm gonna give that a try.
All right. Well, here's to you, my friend.
Look, I am.
All right.
Oh,
how is it?
It's pretty good.
Sam Adams IPA.
No, this is a wheat ale.
Oh, wheat ale.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one's. I do have an IPA later.
Here we are, another what day is today? Wednesday evening.
Wednesday.
And it's been a big week for some of the stuff we like to talk about in general, which we're going to get to in a little bit. Before we get there, though, first up, I wanted to throw the reminder out there early on to everyone listening, watching around the world that we do have our Alaska cruise coming up in a mere 9 months. That's crazy. So
basically, somebody pregnant now will have their baby by the time our cruise happens.
Yeah. Somebody who's making babies tonight will be having a kid while we're on our cruise, probably. So yes, it's an Alaska cruise aboard the Norwegian Bliss, heading out of Seattle. It's a 7-day cruise. It's gonna be pretty awesome, I think. And we've got a huge group of almost 50 people. We've got almost 20 rooms booked. Some pretty good discounts and perks coming along with that. So it is still available for people to get in, but we're getting close to losing that option. So if you're remotely interested, hit us up, let us know, and we'll get you added to the private group.
At least check it out, man. If you can't go, it's cool, but at least check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we do here at Fat and Black, we like to keep out there in the world. And coming up in just a matter of a couple weeks, your fat friend, is going to be heading to Disneyland.
D-Land.
So if anybody's going to be in Disneyland in the middle of August, hit me up. Let me know. I'd love to meet some of you and say hi. I'll be enjoying some rides and refreshments. So that'll be fun.
Lightweight family time.
Yes, lightweight family time. I will be there for a total of 2 days. So it's going to be a quick turn, but well-needed vacay, if you will.
Feel it.
And one other big thing that, of course, we've got going on here at the Fat and Black Connection is the rib cook-off.
So sad.
Man, we've got the rib cook-off coming up for Labor Day weekend. We've got a VIP table at the Nugget Casino, and we've got a couple seats left.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody out there that's interested in joining the Fat Black Table, even though our black friend won't be there,
Unfortunately, I'll be there in spirit. Trust me.
if you're interested, again, hit us up. We'll give you the deets. And I went last year with the VIP experience.
Yeah.
I did some live streaming and stuff. It was a lot of fun. We're doing the same thing this year, Sunday night, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Nice. It's a good
it's
slot. It's a good slot.
Yeah, and it's all you can eat that entire time.
Are you near, and it's near the stage too, right?
I actually got a little bit further back from the stage just so that
Okay.
way, once the bands really started getting going last year, it was kind of
Too
hard
loud.
to. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're wanting to have conversation with the people at your table, it wasn't the best. If you don't care and you're just there to rock out to Uncle Cracker last year, then I guess
Uncle Cracker.
yes, that's who I got to see last
Oh
year.
wait, did he actually have a band or was it tracks? Because I remember I saw, what's that fool's name? Sugar Ray, Mark McGrath. I saw him there. He had a drummer and he was basically doing karaoke. It was ridiculous.
No, if I remember correctly, I believe Uncle Cracker had a band.
Okay.
So
I was just like, yo, Mark, come on, man. Step your game up, dog.
yeah. So a lot of things going on here. So James, something I wanted to talk to you about is I found this really great deal on another cruise in 2024.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm sorry, not an Alaskan cruise, an Australian cruise. Any interest?
From where to where?
Doesn't matter. It's in Australia.
Well,
I believe it's out of Sydney and back into Sydney.
Is it okay? Is it is it during our winter time?
It is during our summertime.
So it's gonna be winter down there, though.
Yeah, but even winter down there is not like winter here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're interested, let me know, and I'll start getting the deets together. But it's, I believe, June of 2024, so could be a lot of fun, and the prices are crazy good right now. So
the only thing we'd have to do is fly to Australia first.
Pretty much that would probably be the majority of the cost.
Yo, I'm actually already down. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm actually already kind of interested in that, bro.
Well,
who's it with? Is it with Norwegian or is it some?
No, it's actually with Carnival.
Oh, okay.
So it would be a different experience, So yeah, I'll start putting some of the deets together. And
I'm not gonna lie, I've always wanted to go to Australia.
So have I.
So I see people who come from Australia all the time coming through the airport, and so.
Well, and if we go to Australia, we could make sure we have an opportunity to meet Chan the creator.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Chan the creator from Murphy's Inc. So
yeah. No, never mind. Let's do it now because Chan the creator.
So a lot of fun stuff going on here at Fat and Black Connection. We're getting more heavily involved in some other projects, executive producing some things, and it's fun times. And so we're trying to grow the brand, trying to grow our base, and we hope you enjoy the things that we're bringing to you. And if not, then go to hell. So
FABP.
So let's talk about something that came out last week.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? I don't care. Warning, there will be spoilers in this episode for different things. So if you're not interested, tune out. I will have the logo up for what we're talking about. And if it's something you haven't seen, just
turn it off.
Yeah, come back later.
Mute it. Turn it off.
So James, let's talk about Thor, Love and Thunder.
Okay. Honestly, it was way different than what I thought. The previews led me down the wrong path for this film.
I mean, isn't that what Marvel just did with the Multiverse of Madness?
Yes, they did that too. But
I got to ask what you mean, because I personally didn't necessarily think that. So can you expand a little bit?
Well, I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be more I guess I wanted more Ragnarok, more funny. It had its moments, but I I think I just had Ragnarok kind of floating in my head. But I still enjoyed the film. But this now has moved. Now that there's 4 Thor films, um, I think this film actually moves into, well, I can't decide if I want to put it in second or third, because Ragnarok is number 1 right now for me. But the toss up is between the first Thor film and this film. Now, I know the first Thor film is very talky, and that's because it was directed by Eric Bana.
Eric Bana?
No, not Eric Bana. What's that guy's name? Kenneth Branagh. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Who was a Shakespearean actor, so it's very talky, but very enjoyable still. And so Dark World is definitely 4th, because it's Dark World. So yeah, I don't know. So it's kind of floating right now. I'd almost need to see it again to really give it a solid placing.
I can tell you, for me, it is number 2. Ragnarok is still, I think, the best of the 4 Thor films.
Yeah.
Hands down. Now, what I will say that I thought was misleading about the trailer is the involvement of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That was very weak.
That was super misleading.
Yeah. I don't know what the purpose of them being there. I didn't feel like it was necessary at all.
Honestly, I think it was just a way because he was with them at the end of
Endgame.
Endgame, yeah. So I think that's where that went. They had them there, got him where he needed to be, and then they could leave and do their own thing.
Yeah, the only thing I can think coming out of that is, right before they left, there were multiple distress signals going off, and likely they're going to deal with that, and that will be the play on in the next film, I assume, which comes out next year, which is also a part of Phase 4. And we'll get into more about Phase 4 in a couple of minutes.
Dear Lord.
So I do got to say this, that I was extremely impressed with Christian Bale as Gore. To me,
I didn't even recognize that was Christian Bale.
That was hands down the best Thor villain to date. Because I don't necessarily consider Loki a Thor villain.
No, he's more of a
anti-hero.
He's
the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the MCU.
Kick your boss. Stun him.
But you know what I mean? Like, I think hands down, when you look at the real villains of the Thor films,
what the first villain was like that
Malekith, garbage.
Was that metal thing?
The metal thing?
Yeah, the metal thing that had the fire and was,
that was not Malekith, but I know what you're talking about. And yeah, garbage. I wouldn't consider that the main villain. But you also had the Frost Giant in that film as well as a villain. Again, garbage. You look at Thor 2 with Malekith, the Night Elf or Blood Elf or whatever. Garbage. Hela was good, but Gore, Christian Bale's Gore, man, was so good. I am actually disappointed that we're not going to get more with that character.
You know what? I think the way that he operated and the way that I think he served his purpose. I mean, yes, he was a very good villain, but I think he served his purpose.
Now, obviously, we said there are going to be spoilers, so please tune out because I'm going to talk about some things that happened in the film near the end. What were your thoughts about the end of the film in regards to, Jane Foster dying, which personally I was like, yeah, just because I can't stand Natalie Portman.
Really? Not a Portman fan, huh?
No, man. She ruined Star Wars. She ruined Thor. Like,
I didn't think she ruined Thor.
I definitely enjoyed her more in this film than I had in the previous 2 she was in.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely played more of a role in this one. I mean, I guess in Dark World she did too, but that was more of a she had to absorb the. I thought that's actually where the cancer might have come from because she had to absorb all that the red energy that they or whatever they call that they ended up pulling out and creating the stone. I thought that's actually what might have actually given her the cancer, but apparently that wasn't it at all. So, but I didn't mind her.
Yeah, I thought she was fine. I think she, served a
She
purpose.
definitely served a purpose.
I will say I really liked that we got to see Darcy for a minute. I'm
Yeah.
glad it wasn't too much. And Eric Selvig, it's nice to know he's still around because
Just
we
a
had a
quick-
reference. It was quick, but clearly he's still alive because we did have
Yeah.
a reference to him in Miss Marvel a couple episodes ago, and it was brief, but it was just in passing. So I was like, oh man, did he die? And they
Wait.
having a
What? Did I miss something in Miss Marvel?
clearly. So I can't remember what episode it is, and actually I don't even remember the character's name. I would call it Kamala's sidekick.
Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno. There we go. He mentions that he was reading books, and one of them was Eric Selvig's book, and he mentions him by name,
okay.
Dr. Selvig. And so I was like, oh man, I guess maybe he died in the MCU and they just haven't addressed it.
He just wrote a book.
Yeah. So it was nice to see him, even though it was just for a moment. And then, what did you think about now, in essence, Thor has a daughter?
It was watching it was very entertaining between the two, especially at the end. It was very entertaining. I mean, it might have been a little bit more for you because you have a daughter now, and she might be. She's kind of. I don't want to wear those shoes. I don't want to wear those. I want to wear these, and I don't like this. You've had it before. No, I don't like it now. Stuff like that. That kind of reminds me of Abby. She would we gave her something, and all of a sudden she was like, "I don't like this," and we were like, "What are you talking about? You just had this 2 days ago." But yeah, no. So it's and then her having the eyes.
I'm really curious
out of her eyes.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see where that goes.
I was actually thinking when because as he is walking, he gets into his outfit, and I was kind of hoping that she would kind of have an outfit too. But she was just in her little outfit or whatever. But no, it was that hammer was bigger than she was, and that was that was hilarious.
Yeah, I do like the fact that Thor has Mjolnir back.
Yeah.
That's nice to see. And there's a part of me that is excited to see where this story goes.
You know what? I did like the fact that it being broken gave it some interesting powers.
Agreed. The way that
was kind of dope.
Like
she was, she'd smash it and it would basically just shoot out, and then it would go through whatever and then come back. I was like, that's dope. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. That was fun and a creative way to use Mjolnir.
Excuse me, hold on. Hey, Mark, I need to just. Tyrus said something. He said Natalie Portman did not ruin Star Wars. That was Jar Jar and Jake Lloyd. No, Jar Jar was just fine. Yes, annoying, but Jar Jar was just fine. It was Jake Lloyd's fault.
I am not seeing any of the chat. I don't know why that is. So please, James, relay the chats for us because I'm not seeing them.
Really?
Yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah,
kind of weird.
I don't know. Can I add them?
I don't know. I don't know if you can, but
well, we'll have to figure that out later. Anyways,
yeah.
I'm just saying. Yes, that was something that Tyrus added to the.
Fair enough. So then we obviously the film ends and we get a post-credit scene.
Two.
Yes. So which one do you want to talk about first?
Oh, well, the first one.
By all means.
Well, okay. So earlier we see that Zeus, who is an absolute toolbox, played by Russell Crowe, which
amazingly
was yes, that was great. But yeah, Zeus, a toolbox nonetheless. He earlier in the film has his own thunderbolt thrown through his chest, and he's being patched up, and he is, well, good enough pissed, and so he's basically saying that Thor must pay for what he did, and so he sends his son Hercules after him. Now, I'm not too familiar with the Marvel Hercules, but from what I have heard, just by kind of slight passings of articles and stuff, is that he's pretty downright very close to the comic. I don't know how, if Hercules plays more like a anti-hero that he does in some of the games that I've played recent, or not in the past. But okay, I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah, it almost kind of, to me, that scene almost felt like early MCU, when it almost felt like that scene where Thanos was like, I guess I'll have to do it myself. It kind of, it was quick, but it was deliberate, and it clearly
when he grabs
was,
is that when he puts on the glove for the, is that when he puts on the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to take care of this myself.
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling again of, oh snap, like I know we've heard that He Who Remains or Kang is going to be like the next Thanos level type character, but I'm like, maybe are they giving us a head fake, and could Zeus Hercules go in the direction of,
but that, or they could end up being working with Kang.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. And I do gotta say, I loved the scene earlier in the film with all of the different gods, if you will, from around.
What was it? The god of dumplings or something like that?
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is too ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a little bit too far. That felt like something of, I don't know, like Lego Movie or something.
Yeah, it definitely felt very Lego Movie. But and then like Korg seeing his deity, which was
Nani Nanu or
Nani,
whatever.
Nani Nani or whatever his name was. But yeah, no, it very that was actually very interesting to see.
And our other post-credit scene,
that was Natalie Portman reappearing in.
Yes, and for me, I went and saw this with my wife.
Yeah,
and we talked about it afterwards. She didn't understand why, to me, that scene was so important, because clearly something is going on. We had now sat through 4 Thor films and had been given lots of Thor mythology and everything.
Yeah.
And this now, for some reason,
we're going to see Valhalla.
Right. And who's there?
Good old Idris Elba, aka Heimdall.
Right. And so,
and the thing is, I think that's also poignant, because we now know that he actually had a son who has the same power.
Yes. Well, and I think, to me, I mean, we learned that obviously earlier in the film, and we knew that. I think we knew that he had a family, because in, I believe, Ragnarok, there's a part where he says, I've got to protect my family. We didn't see his wife or his kid, but it was alluded to. I guess it could have been interpreted purely as him just protecting his family of, fellow Asgardians, but
right.
But it was
literally a family. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing. I need to go back and watch some of these films again. But yeah, no, I think that was very cool, actually seeing Valhalla, which means that, all these, heroes that have died and, in battle should be there.
Well, so Odin didn't die in battle. He turned into dust, just like.
But he was also. Well, I mean, yeah, but he was. Why did he just die? Because he was.
He kind of. It was almost like he gave himself over to the Force, if you will.
Yeah.
And
like in what was that? Not Rise of Skywalker. Was that Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, Rise of Skywalker when he comes in as Last Jedi, when he kind of comes through to help out Rey at the base.
You talking about Luke, and then he gives himself over to the Force?
Yeah,
just like Obi-Wan gave himself over to the Force in Episode
right.
4. Yeah, this is not an uncommon practice, if you will. But yeah, I mean, we've seen this happen in Thor a couple of times where they've just kind of died, or in essence dusted, right?
Well, so does that mean his mom's there too?
Presumably,
yeah.
I'm thinking because she actually died theoretically a warrior's death, right?
Yeah. This is the beach session IPA that I'm opening right now.
Ah, okay. Well, and again by Sam Adams, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, how is it? Let's see.
Oh, I've had this one before now, I think. Oh yeah. Yep. That is good. It's like that it's got the hoppiness is dialed down due to the fact that it has like the tropical flavors to it too.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting more so that you haven't always been a big fan of IPAs at all, and so you've really your palate has changed over the last couple of years.
A lot.
So getting back on Thor: Love and Thunder, the thing that I was pointing out to my wife is that generally they don't tend to waste these post-credit scenes. Now, to be fair, they did in Multiverse of Madness, right? With the Bruce Campbell at the very end.
Yeah, that was. But that then that was at the very end, right?
Yeah, but so was the Natalie Portman very end of this film.
No, I'm talking about like that was at the very end. That was more. I think they were trying to lighten that film up because it was kind of dark, so they were trying to give that little kind of funny like pop at the end, which was kind of like okay, but definitely the I think that was very important because we've heard about Valhalla, we've heard about these things in other films, like dying that warrior's death, things like that, but to actually see it was
to me it means that something is going to happen. There's no reason that for them to spend the film time on showing us that unless
paying somebody.
right paying Idris Elba to come back to play Heimdall for all of 10 seconds. There was no reason for it unless we're going to see it again.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the dread look, that was money. I liked it with dreads.
Yes. So I really enjoyed the film overall. Again, not my favorite Thor film, my second favorite.
Yeah.
I think that it had some good moments. I also think there were some that were kind of weak, but hands down, Christian Bale, best Thor villain.
Oh, he was that was very good. Hey, bro, I will say though, the just seeing the god that he worshipped at the beginning, and I was like, yo, this dude is an absolute tool bag.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, like that would be the most disappointing thing ever to have served a god who, when you actually meet them, they actually gave 0 F's about you. Like, oh, you were basically just for our amusement? Whoa, that would be so just like, oh, I'd want that sword too and start taking them out myself.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So we had we're gonna keep it going with some more spoilery things. So I apologize in advance if you're not interested in hearing about it. We're about to talk about Miss Marvel.
Hold on. Let me just put this out there. If you have watched this show at all, if you're new, we apologize. Not really, but I'm gonna apologize. But if you have seen the show before, you pretty much know the week something comes out, we will probably see it unless otherwise specified, and we will talk about it because it is interesting to us. So for those that watch the show, listen to the show later, you know how we roll. So make sure that you know, when something comes out, just try and see it the opening weekend by, you know, Tuesday or early Wednesday, however you want to do it. But know that we will be talking about it on the show.
Yeah, and there are some times where some things just come out today, and we're going to talk about them because I called you this afternoon because I had just finished watching Miss Marvel season finale, and I was like, I need you to go watch this now because I wanted to make sure you watched it before this episode because I want to talk about it. So let's get into Miss Marvel season finale, episode 6. Dang,
chick went hard.
Yeah, we finally see Kamala go from, you know, basically introducing herself as who she is and having these powers to her family, who already knew because they can't keep a secret, to having to save this gentleman who, if you're watching this rather than listening, you can see I've got an image up from the episode. You know, he himself has been imbued with some power since his mama died.
From his mom actually sent him those powers. So that
correct. Correct.
Calm down, Miz.
And you know, ultimately we've got damage control. We've got a rogue agent.
Oh man, she went so sideways. I was like, yo, the man told you. I mean, I understood that it couldn't go. She had to do it, but like he told you, stand down. Mm-hmm. Stand down. She's gonna be an issue. She's gonna be an issue later.
Yeah. That character is not going away, I don't think.
Marvel's, she's gonna be an issue.
It's entirely possible. And you know, with we finally get to see Kamala really utilize her powers to the biggest, if you will, with the embiggen.
Chick stopped a Humvee, bro.
When she grows in size, and man, it was great to see.
It was amazing. Like this episode was like the best episode because I think now she doesn't. It's not a skirting around the issue. Everybody that she needs to know knows.
Yeah,
she does. Her mom is so and you know what I think the best part about it is her mother giving her the costume. That was an absolute full circle moment because first episode, the Hulk costume, to her understanding that this is who she is. She needs a costume that's representative of her, and that's her necklace is the symbol there. So that was amazing that her mother gave her that costume.
Yeah, it was. I liked that. I thought it was very touching. It was nice to see the whole family and the whole community really come together. The Jersey City community to defend her, and you know, it was interesting because you know the top of the episode and the last couple episodes have actually said, you know, there may be moments of disturbing material, whatever. I think this was for me the first time I was like, okay, I get why they did it for this one. With all of the recent shootings and everything.
Oh yeah, them firing on them and stuff like that.
Yeah, and here you have a young man of color,
right,
not that is being fired upon by.
Was that cannon? That was the one from Hulk, wasn't it?
Yes, and
smaller. It was way smaller this time though.
Well, and we've had many years come and go since the Hulk film, so of course they're going to be able to take that technology and
bring it down in size.
Yeah. And one of the rumored things about the MCU has been the talk of the Thunderbolts, which we've kind of seen put together a little bit already with the Marshal, with the new Black Widow, if you will. So it's coming together. I'm not sure how they're going to address it, because usually it's been General Ross, Senator Ross in recent days that
But
has
the problem is he passed away. He passed away.
the actor
Actor
playing
who
the
played it
role.
passed. Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't do a deep fake thing, but maybe they can explain it away, like he has a son or something who is now, I don't know.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. There's a lot of things they can do with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ross's Thunderbolts, of course.
True.
I'm sure they're probably having to make some
Oh,
changes.
you know what they could end up doing? This goes back to what's her name coming back in Falcon Winter Soldier. Peggy's niece or granddaughter.
Oh, Agent 13 or
whatever her name was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she does now have those secrets, so I mean, she could be playing. You know, we already know that she's probably end up playing both sides in this whole thing. So I don't see why she couldn't be that foil.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, getting back into the Miss Marvel episode a little bit more, you know, we have this moment where she finally completely is consumed by her power, so to speak, able to wreck house. She then prevents mass chaos and potentially mass deaths.
Yeah.
And fast forward, you know, the community in circles around her to defend her. She gets away.
And then the police that were supposed to be there, like helping to catch them, were like, yo, what are you doing in our community right now?
Yeah, so, get out of here. And it was nice to see that, you know,
yeah.
Hopefully the community continues to rally around the character. But then fast forward, you know, to a week later, and we have the moment that so many of us have really been waiting for.
Okay, now this moment was not what I was expecting.
No, me either. There was.
I was expecting Monica to show up at some point. That's who I was. Remember, I think I said that earlier.
Hold on, I think you may be going too far forward.
Oh,
I'm talking about the end scene before the credits.
Oh, okay.
With Bruno.
Yeah.
This is the moment that
we're gonna go get shawarma.
Kinda. This is the moment that we have been waiting for since Disney bought Fox.
Oh, the blood thing.
Yes,
bro. They are using that music with no issue right now. I absolutely love it. And if anybody wants to know what music I'm talking about,
we're gonna talk about it.
That 97 X-Men theme music.
Yeah, it was very subtle. It was just for 2-3 seconds. It was there, and it was.
Oh my! I was like, yo. I was like, this is what I've been wanting Disney to do since they bought Marvel. It was because we had all these properties kind of scattered to the winds. Like Sony had Spider-Man, Fox had X-Men and like Fantastic Four and all these. And I was like, yo, like and I didn't know if they would actually do it. But when they bought Fox, and not all of Fox, but just that entertainment portion of Fox was probably the greatest acquisition they could have had. Yeah, because they got so many other properties back and the ability to use mutants again.
Yes, and that was the moment I was referring to, was finally Bruno and Kamala talking, and him talking about he was looking into her genetics and that he found
there's a mutation in your genes.
A mutation. That word I've never heard in the MCU before. And we've heard follow up that word, that sentence with the
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. I lost it because
so excited.
Because we had that moment in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but that was in a different universe.
Right. But to have it in this universe with this character, with the fact that now we've been wondering, are they going to do X-Men? What are we going to get as far as that goes? And because everything up to this point had been inhuman, because that's the property that they had. But
Mhm.
now, owning Fox, they can use mutants again, and
Mhm.
I am so excited, because now this puts in, I mean, listen, if you think about it, we have two, three, uh, two, three, four. What do we have? Five X-Men films now. Um,
I mean,
X-Men
if you're just talking about
2,
purely the X-Men
3, and then
films,
we have X-Men First Class.
it's 6, unless you start
X.
including Wolverine and
No, I'm not talking
Logan.
about those. I'm not talking about those. I'm just talking about the X-Men films themselves. And
Then
then
you have
because there was
6.
because
It
what
was
first?
3 of the original and 3 of the new ones.
Well, no, there was first. Was it? I thought it was First Class something else, and then oh no, it's the First Class, Days of Futures Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix.
You're right. So it's 3 and 4, so 7
Yeah,
X-Men films.
yeah, and so like this totally throws in flux what we could have a whole new thing of X-Men.
It doesn't throw anything into flux because of the introduction of the multiverse. Those X-Men still exist in the
But
multiverse.
but they could be different. Like we could
Right.
pull
So when
from.
we know that we're eventually going to come to an incursion. That's just the reality. And there is an extreme possibility that you could have people like Halle Berry Storm show up. You could have, the guy who played Cyclops in the original series, right? These characters could show up because of an incursion with the universe that the original X-Men existed in.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, the door is open for so much. The only thing that Disney lacks right now is pure unadulterated access to the Spider-Verse, and
Right.
of course, as we know, to pure unadulterated access to Hulk.
Oh,
Paramount
Paramount still owns Fox, or owns that, right? I forgot about that.
yes, so they're able to use Hulk in passing as a part of the Avengers or other things, but they can't do standalone stuff with him.
Hey, Disney, just take Paramount a briefcase of money and say, "Here, we want Hulk back."
I mean, you could say the same thing, do that with Sony, right? I mean,
Well, I think Sony's kind of dug themselves in on that whole thing, so I think they might just leave that alone.
But yeah, that moment for me, just that moment of the mutation and the music,
that
uh, made this series like we've already talked about it, that we both agree that this series has been, for an introduction series, has been
amazing.
so good. I mean, Moon Knight, very good introduction series to be followed up with this one again, so good. I have been impressed with both of these two series, and I don't know if you saw, but Moon Knight nominated for 8 Emmys.
Oh, snap! I know the Emmy nominations were just posted today, but I didn't
Yes.
see how many they were nominated for.
Yeah, Loki nominated for 6.
But and also, remember how I told you before? I don't know if you noticed it in going back to Thor, in the opening for the Marvel Studios credits, Moon Knight's in that now. So I'm
Yes.
wondering, since he's in there now, are they going to move him up some and add her in
I would imagine,
with the end of the series?
I would imagine that's going to happen. And so you kind of jumped the gun a little bit. So we have the credits, and
Yeah.
then we have a mid-credit scene.
Right.
So
Sorry.
because you were so excited and wanting to get there, I'll let you go ahead and have some glory. So
All
you were
right.
saying that you thought we were going to get Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, I thought for sure, like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Monica Rambeau will like show up and like talk to her or something.
She's already there on Earth. She's become Spectrum. She has these
Right.
powers now. She's just learning about her powers.
Right. So maybe it would be like, hey, you know what? You're learning yours. I'm learning mine. We should.
You're obsessed with Captain Marvel. I actually know her.
I know her and have, known her since I was little. Let's, we can work together type deal. That's what I was expecting. But to her falling on the bed, her mom kind of calling her out for it and being like, "Hey, that doesn't sound like science." And then all of a sudden, her what is it called? Bangle
Mhm.
starts glowing like ridiculously fast, and all of a sudden, she gets somehow thrown into her closet, but like zapped away somehow. And who should appear but none other than Carol Danvers.
Do you like that hairstyle?
The long hair?
It's back, and it was like kind of braided and stuff. Because the last
Yeah.
time we saw Carol Danvers,
Thank
she had the
God.
shortcut.
That short hair, I did not like that at all. I understood where it came from, but I did not care for it. So, Brie Larson, I love you, but the long hair, keep that. Anyways,
I don't think that likely when she had the short hair that was her. That was
no, I think
probably
that was probably something else she might have been working on, so they had to work with it, type
no,
deal.
no. It's that short hair is one of the looks for Captain Marvel in the comics.
Yeah, but well, whatever.
Anyways,
We'll
yes,
worry about it.
Carol
Anyways,
Danvers emerges from the closet.
and is looking around, and it is definitely there's probably a couple things fold, like, A, how the hell did I get here? And holy crap, this person is absolutely obsessed with me.
Well, yeah, because she basically walked into a room where it's like her worst nightmare of herself threw up all over the walls.
It is like so many pictures of her and everything else. And so yeah, it's very crazy. Let's see. Oh, well, Tyra says now he's hyped to finish watching this because he's only on episode 3 apparently. How are you?
How are you only there? And B, why are you listening right now?
It doesn't really matter at this point. And then do you think he says? Do you think we will see a Black Knight show? With
That's entirely possible. I mean, we
Kit
did.
Harington because he's going back to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so I mean, we obviously were introduced to the Black Knight character
Right.
in the Eternals.
Right.
I don't necessarily think that character needs its own series.
I think he'll probably, if he's going to show up at all, it'll
be in
probably end
Blade.
up with Blade.
Well, and we have that at the end of Eternals, that moment where, and that's Blade. We all know that's Marshall Ali.
Yeah.
Spoiler if you didn't know, that's Marshall Ali at the end. They're talking to him for a moment. So yeah, I would expect we're going to get that character in the Blade film, because obviously they already have some kind of interaction or knowledge of each other.
Right.
So
sorry, just before we continue,
yes.
last one for the night, we're gonna go with the good old Sam Adams Summer Ale, which
nice.
We were both very familiar with it, with working in restaurants.
Indeed. Anywhere you work where there's the Sam Adams rotation.
Yeah, seasonal.
Yeah.
Winter lager, summer ale, some of the best ones.
I mean, Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Oktober. My bad.
Sorry. You forgot about Oktoberfest?
I shouldn't have forgot about it because that's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, yes, Oktoberfest, winter lager, summer ale. You're good. And then that spring one they have, which is weird, but it's like whatever.
The spring one is my least favorite of the 4.
Yeah.
So ultimately, for me, when I look at the MCU Disney Plus series that have come out, this one shoots way up there.
It just moved up.
After we finished Moon Knight, I said that Moon Knight took number 2 because for me, still Loki, I think is number 1.
Where does WandaVision rank for you then? I forgot where you said that one.
So WandaVision I had before, right after Loki. Right after Moon Knight. So it would have been Loki, Moon Knight, WandaVision. Where now, oh man, this isn't 1. I still think Loki is number 1.
Yeah, I think so. For me, so I'm just going to give you what I think as far as right now. I would definitely say that Loki, agreed. I agree with you, is absolutely number 1. For me, WandaVision is probably number 2. I would definitely put this at number 3, followed by Moon Knight, and Falcon and Winter Soldier, followed by Moon Knight, then Falcon Winter Soldier. Or actually, sorry, Falcon and Captain America.
Yeah, I still think you have Falcon Winter Soldier ranked too high. I mean,
There's
don't get me
only
wrong.
5 series.
What If?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Hawkeye.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Hawkeye is probably at the bottom, if not. I mean, the only reason that it's not completely off the list is thanks to Kingpin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that series was.
Yeah, I think it was more of a redemption story for Hawkeye. I think they made it to give Jeremy Renner some actual work because he's been there so long and he has never really gotten the focus that I think he really needs.
No, and he was the only one of the original 6 that wasn't basically having his own film.
Right. So I think the show was appropriate for him.
Yeah, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on the show overall, but to me, honestly, of the MCU Disney Plus shows, it's probably the lowest ranked to me. Okay. And honestly, I would put What If before I would say Falcon Winter Soldier.
Okay.
I'm just being honest, and I get part of the why for you it might be higher ranked, and it appeals to you a little bit more, and I get it. That's not me bashing it. It's just I felt like it got nowhere for too long. It took too long to get to where it got to, and we've talked about that.
So I can agree with you on that. So it took too long. It was slow. It was almost too slow to end where it ended.
Yeah.
I feel you.
So Miss Marvel's over. What's next?
That's a great question. We have now Miss Marvel will return in the Marvels. We have Thor will return. I'm assuming with love. And so what's next?
Yeah. So we
have She-Hulk coming, don't we?
We do have She-Hulk coming.
Is that coming the fall or is it coming? I didn't get it. I don't remember a release date.
Honestly, I don't even remember what's next. So let's dive into that for a moment because I know that we still have Secret Invasion coming. Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah.
With
is that an anime? That's animated, right?
No, that's with Nick Fury.
I know, but I thought that was
Samuel
animated,
L. No, that's live action.
Oh snap! I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So
with the krill,
right. Some fish. So let's talk about Phase 4 because we're still in Phase 4, and
I thought Phase 4 was over, but apparently it is definitely not.
No, so we've got to talk about Phase 4. I put this graphic up. Shout out to IGN. Of course, for them originally creating it.
Yeah.
This is MCU, for those of you listening, not watching, this is MCU Run Times by Phase. So Phase 1 had 6 films, clocking in at 12.4 hours.
Phase 2 had 6 films, clocking in at 12.7 hours.
Tell us about Phase 3, James.
Phase 3 is 11 films. Jeez, that seems so much. But Phase 3 is 11 films running pretty much a day and 9 hours. So 24.9 hours.
So Phase 4, which is the phase that we are currently in, to date, so far, has been 6 films and 7 television shows, clocking in at 49.5 hours.
49 and a half hours of just pure unadulterated goodness.
And it's not over.
No.
We know for a fact
so far,
that part of Phase 4
on the graphic in itself says so far.
Yes. and we know that we still have coming up this year Black Panther 2,
Wakanda Forever.
We know still part of Phase 4 we've got the Marvels, still part of Phase 4 She-Hulk, still part of Phase 4 we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Is it in Quantumanium? I thought it was Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumanium.
You might be right.
Yeah, I think I am.
We know, and I believe Secret Invasion is a part of Phase 4.
Oh.
I believe I don't know about Loki season 2, which is started filming.
What's this? Hold on. Sorry, you're not saying this. I know you said Brian our dam has checked in. He's saying we've got Wakanda Forever and the Wakanda series.
There is a Wakanda series I've heard rumor of, but I haven't seen anything official.
Yeah, and then he's also saying the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which is supposed to come out.
That's
this year?
end of next year, as well
is it end of next year, or is it
yes,
end of this year?
that's the
I
end
thought
of
they were
next year.
putting that this holiday.
Nope.
Oh,
That's
okay.
end of next year, as well as Guardians 3.
3, yeah, Volume 3. So, sheesh.
Okay,
I mean, I hope that's not all Phase 4. I mean, is that going to be all Phase 4?
so I'm looking at a list. So, still coming up, we already talked about Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is May of next year. The Marvels is July of next year. Announced, but we don't have a date officially, is Fantastic Four. We have something slotted for November of next year, but we don't have a title.
Is it just TBA or?
Yes, we still have What If Season 2, supposedly that may be this year or early next year. Secret Invasion is this year. Agatha, House of Harkness.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that show.
Armor Wars. Echo, which is the character from Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, right?
And Ironheart, which we will likely see after Black Panther 2, because Ironheart, the character... Yes. Should be introduced there. So still so much, because the phases have always been marked by an Avengers film.
Right.
Now, yes, the phases didn't always end with an Avengers film, as we know. Phase 2 ended with Ant-Man, not with Age of Ultron. Phase 3 ended with Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right. Age of Ultron was was one of the 6 films in Phase 2, right?
Yes, and then Ant-Man was after that, but was considered Phase 2.
Okay.
And Phase 3 didn't end with Endgame. It technically ended with Spider-Man. Correct.
With Homecoming, right? Yeah.
No, Far From Home.
Far From Home? It ended with Far From Home?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so Phase 4 doesn't have to end with an Avengers film, but always we've had Avengers films
somewhere in it.
And generally near the end of the phase.
Yeah.
And we still technically have not even had an announcement of an Avengers film.
Kevin Feige, what are you doing to me?
Let's be clear. There is a Comic-Con coming up.
Yes.
And MCU will be hosting a 1-hour session in Hall H, which
the line will be they're going to have to turn people away from that for 100% sure.
This is the first one since 2019.
100% sure people are getting turned away from this.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a lightweight deal.
If for some reason you are going to Comic-Con and you watch this show, you better contact us, A, and B, we better get some live stream stuff of things that you can live stream from Comic-Con, because we're going to work something out where we can actually go to Comic-Con. But until then, if you watch this show or you like this show or whatever, I want your Comic-Con I want your Comic-Con footage.
Yeah, we need that inside track, because
I'll talk to you later.
Fair enough. Yeah. So switching gears a little bit, let's shift from the MCU and let's talk about a company that is heavily used by the MCU and is probably one of the greatest production companies in the history of cinema.
They are used by a lot of the movie industry in general.
That is the Industrial Light and Magic,
AKA
a company started.
ILM.
A company started by the Grand Wizard George Lucas. Um, the man has done so much, and he himself has said that he had to create ILM. There was no company out there when he was making Star Wars that could do the
No,
stuff he wanted done.
he opened up. He the man started a business because he was making a film that could, and he helped himself, and
Yeah,
now it is turned into like the movie, the film industry standard
yeah.
for special effects.
There is no. I was surprised in watching the trailer that they only have 16 Oscars. I would have expected significantly more. They've been
That's
around 47 years.
that's really weird.
Yeah, I who is better than them? You know what I mean? They're
Uh, apparently there's others, but like I thought they were pretty much it. As I mean, like, but oh man, just I watch this. Listen, if you have Facebook, go to our page and watch this trailer. Or if you don't have social media for some reason, go watch this trailer on YouTube. It is so chock full of just knowledge for just that brief couple minutes of a trailer that you're like, yo, I mean, if you like films at all, if you like anything that Steven Spielberg's done, George Lucas has done, like pretty much any filmmaker over the past 40,
Cameron.
almost 50 years, ILM has been such an integral part of these movies that just if you have an appreciation for film, I think you need to watch this series.
Yeah, I can't imagine there are many people walking this earth today that enjoy cinema that have not heard of ILM.
Right.
It's
Hey, Mark, real quick.
yeah.
Tyrus sent in the Wakanda series is rumored to revolve around the what are they called? The
Dorman.
Dormagie,
Yeah,
the warriors.
the guards.
The guards, right. And they say they also are looking at a Black Panther animated series. That's what he according to Tyrus, what Tyrus
I wonder
says.
if the animated series will be considered MCU or if that's just a side thing. Because there was a Black Panther cartoon a long time ago.
Was
back
it?
in the back in the
remember that.
mid early 2000s, there was a Black Panther cartoon. It was very short lived. It's actually on, I believe it's on Disney Plus. So
I'll have to check that out.
yeah. So Light and Magic, it's a show on
Yeah.
Disney Plus. It starts the 27th of this month.
I will watch this show for sure.
Yeah, I have loved pretty much everything Disney Plus has done with the behind the scenes of, an attraction or, a day at Disneyland, things like that. I've enjoyed the heck out of a lot of that stuff they've done, and I am certain this will be right there.
And this, I think, too, because it goes behind some of the things that like the first Star Wars film, how like they were basically just almost like kids in a candy store. Like they, they were like even the trailer, they were like, we were making stuff up as we went along, just trying to make it work. And I was just like, that is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
How you literally just like, that's like us as kids when we were just playing around. Like we didn't have, we had imagination. So they took imagination and like 10 times folded that thing and turned it into something.
Yeah. Well, and
Right.
you look at a lot of these people, they were in their early mid 20s to their early 30s.
I'm saying they were like, we were kids. We were just playing around and
making some magic happen.
I am like, if I had a time machine, I'd be like, yo, I want to work here.
Yeah. All right, it's time for the rapid fire round. Are you ready for this?
Go.
All right, here we go. First up, 13 the musical coming to Netflix. What do you think?
Don't really care.
Wow, that's very quick. 13 obviously is an actual musical that was done on Broadway, and the basic premise is some young Jewish folk
Bar mitzvah.
going through that growing pains of becoming an adult in the community.
But his also he gets pulled from where he was, I guess, in New York to Indiana, where he has nobody really. So
yeah, he's probably one of the lone
the new kid.
Yes. I probably won't watch it. I don't think I care, but we're theater guys and we've done plenty of musicals and so I felt like we should at least call it out. Yeah, don't care. Moving on. Let's talk about some video games.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Gollum. What are you thinking?
I'm watching the trailer. I'm a little interested to check it out. I mean, I don't know if this is one that, I mean, if there's a way for me to get it and like just kind of play a little bit of it, like a demo type thing, maybe, but I'm okay. I mean, I might check it out, but probably won't. You can't really rent video games anymore, huh?
Yeah, I don't even know if GameFly is still around.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings.
Hey, sorry, real quick. The Brian says 13 had a what her name in it. Oh, so 13 apparently had in the original Broadway cast had Ariana Grande in it.
Okay,
that's what he just threw out there. I don't know why. I didn't even know she did Broadway, but okay.
So a show I don't care about with somebody playing a role that I really don't care about.
I like Ariana Grande, but yeah, I don't really care about that much either.
You know what? She did Pete Davidson wrong, so I don't care. Back to Lord of the Rings, Gollum.
Thank you. Next, anyways,
I gotta say this. I love the Lord of the Rings. I remember first reading the series before the films came out, and.
Okay, actually, here's a question for you. How do you think the films did as far as the books go?
Oh man, they're great. Especially if you watch the extended Pete Jackson edition. Like each film's like almost 4 hours long, right?
Right.
I think that they did a very good job. Is there stuff missing? Of course. You can't take those books. I mean, you're talking
that would have been like 10 films.
No, you still could have done it as 3 films, but each film would have had to. And I don't think you can do it as 10 films. It has to be 3. It's 3 books in the book, right?
Right.
So I do think that I didn't like what they did with The Hobbit. I felt like they stretched it way too much to make 3 films.
The Hobbit was just 1 book, right?
Yeah. And a long book. Don't get me wrong. Right. But back to Lord of the Rings, Gollum. I felt like watching the trailer for this. I'm very concerned. You just gave me this trailer with a Gollum that does not look like the Gollum we've come to know and love in the films.
Well, he had like longer. He had like hair in this thing, which was weird. So it was like a younger Gollum.
Yes, this is a younger Gollum, but it's also voiced by a different voice actor, which I don't like. And I hate to be nitpicky in that regard, but it's like
if you're gonna
spend the money, hire. What's his name? The actor, I can't even remember his name right now. He played Alfred Pennyworth recently in the Batman. Ulysses Claw in the Black Panther. God, I can't remember his name. But
I'll look it up right now.
But yeah, I don't know. And I also felt like the graphics, there were moments watching this trailer where I was like, you probably should have said this is beta footage or something because it doesn't look clean. So I don't know. I will not get this game. If someone has this game and is like, hey, it's free, or if it comes out, on, Games for Gold on Xbox or something like that, then maybe I'll get it then.
Andy Serkis.
Yes, that's it. If it comes out available in one of those for free or whatever, then I'll probably get it, try it out. But I'm disappointed being a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And what's even more disappointing as a Lord of the Rings fan is not only is one game coming out, but a second Lord of the Rings game is coming out.
Is this from the same company?
No, 2 different companies. So this one is for those of you watching, for those of you listening, I've got a graphic up for Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria, and this is a game that primarily focuses on the dwarfs. After it seems like it's taking place after the events of The Hobbit, and it, the graphics in this one look really good, but the content seems like you know,
yeah, it seems almost like it's more work than
yeah,
it's
it's
a lot of work.
Hangout. It comes across as wanting to be an MMO, but
Oh, you know
it's
what it
not.
is? It's like MMO meets The Sims meets what's that or not Warcraft. Yeah, Warcraft or type two, where you have to build. It looks like you have to build a base. You have
Mhm.
to set that base up. You have to then forge weapons. You have to then go and you probably have to search the world for some sort of thing. I mean, it seems like it says you can join friends or whatever, but I mean, like, eh.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like these graphics are the ones I wanted to see in Golem, um, and I don't know. Again, I feel the same way about this as I do Golem, in that, if it comes out available for free on like Games for Gold or something like that, I'll probably get it. But
Tyrus actually has two things. One, he says, Mark, if I brought you the latest God of War, would you play it beginning to end? And then he says, this game sounds like Age of Empires. Oh, funny thing. Sorry. Just a side note. I actually met a guy working on the new God of War game, like randomly. Yeah, he came through the airport and he had this thing, God of War, on his backpack. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, you fan of the game? He was like, actually, I'm working on the new game. And I was like, oh, what?
So to answer Tyrus's question, yes, I would play it. I do have a PlayStation 4, so I would be more than happy to play it start to finish, give it a shot. I've never played a God of War game from start to finish. I played it, I used to live with Tyrus a long time ago, and he had God of War way back then, and so I've tried them. It's just never been my cup of tea. But I am willing, if you provide me with that game, I will go ahead and give it a go for you.
There's literally only one of God of War game that there's one part I can't seem to get past, and I've looked it up to try and get past it. God of War Ascension. I have tried to figure out how to get past this level, and I can't seem to get past it.
So to be clear, James is probably the worst video game player out there. Even my wife can strike out a batter in a baseball game. Not so much for James.
I'm talking about God of War here, people. It's a little different.
No. I have watched you play video games, and it is painful.
Yeah, well, whatever.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not me trying to be mean. It's just you play them because you
No,
enjoy
I'm probably
some
not
of them.
worse. I'm probably not worse than you, Brian. Like, you don't play like that, but I mean, there might be something that you're better at than me, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Brian's better at music than you.
Oh yeah, 100% probably better at music than me. But
all right, back to the rapid fire round.
Anyways, continue.
Another video game, Skull and Bones, an Ubisoft original.
Yes.
Broken.
Yes.
Let's talk about this for a minute. If you haven't watched this trailer, it is a good trailer. This game was announced, I believe.
I'll kick your butt in Mario Kart, Brian. By the way,
I believe this game was originally announced back in like 2015.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I do remember hearing something about this.
Yeah, Skull and Bones was announced a long time ago.
It was under a different title, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was basically Black Flag.
It was called like Pirates or something like that, or something.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It was the prototype for this game.
Probably one of the best games I've ever played.
It is a really amazing game. It is not my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Okay.
If you took the Assassin's Creed aspect out of it and you just made it a pirate game going around the Caribbean and doing stuff, amazing.
Yeah.
But the reason that they did Assassin's Creed Black Flag is because they wanted to do a pirate game, but they didn't think it would do well on its own, and so they incorporated Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
So Skull and Bones was meant to be that pirate game follow-up using a lot of the mechanics and concepts that were developed for Black Flag.
See, and that's the thing. I thought, because I remember hearing about this game. Like, I remember hearing something about another pirate game that they were working on, but for some reason it just never came out. And so, like, I'm really, when I saw the trailer for this, I mean, yes, also there's a black protagonist in it, but besides that, I really enjoy what this game looks like. Like the fact that you're starting out with some like shipwreck that you basically kind of put back together, and you're gonna turn that into this whole just thing, like just massive, probably multiple ships, and them going out and you working together with those ships. Oh, I am in love with this already.
So, according to Wikipedia, just to give you the heads up, Skull and Bones is the first video game led by developer Ubisoft Singapore, which drew
Oh,
inspiration from the naval battles of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The game began development in 2013, being
holy.
being initially envisioned as an expansion to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Then it was going to be an MMO spin-off under the title of Black Flag Infinite. It was then spun off as an independent project, in part due to its initial technology being outdated.
Oh, wow.
So, yes,
Oh, and Assassin's Creed Infinite is the new one they're talking about, aren't they?
that is the working title. I don't know if that'll be the official title, but yes, that
For the
is.
newest Assassin's Creed game, yeah. Which
Yes,
apparently they're coming out with more for Valhalla, apparently.
yes, they are. And I got to tell you, it's been a long time since I played Valhalla. And so part of me wants to go back. And honestly, I think the last trilogy between Origins and Odyssey and now Valhalla, I kind of want to go back and replay the entire trilogy with all of the content that has come out.
They've added more stuff throughout, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
because the hard part is, with Valhalla, when it first came out, I played the heck out of that game. I put in 100 hours in the first 2 months or so after it came out and finished the game with everything that was available at that point. But they've come out with so much since then.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if I can pick it up and just start playing again from where I
There's
left off.
the Ireland storyline, there's the Paris
The Siege of
storyline,
Paris. Yeah.
there's the one with Cassandra, there's the storyline with Cassandra, and then Ragnarok just came. Well, Ragnarok's been out for a little while now, which was an expansion. Tyrus also said this God of War, so I'm guessing that the most recent one, this God of War has a more matured story, plus the ending is worth it. Best of the series, plus it won almost every award it was nominated for, including Game of the Year. Okay, well,
I guess my biggest question is always going to be, can I pick it up and play it without having played any of the previous and knowing the storyline? That's
yes.
where it becomes a challenge.
Yes, this one I think, because the newest ones, so the old ones were Greek mythology based. The newest ones are Norse mythology based.
Everyone
So,
trying to do some Norse stuff, man.
well, no, it was. I mean, like this was before everything got, all this Norse stuff got huge. Like it was like God of War, the newest one that came out was before. Like I think the only thing that was out was Vikings. I think that was the only show that was out when this came out. So now with like the Northmen and Valhalla and all this stuff,
Murphy's Inc.
Oh yeah, right. Murphy's Inc. dealing with the Vikings. But yeah, no, I think like it's a little bit. I think you can play this without knowing. They're probably going through some history of it all, but I think you can play the new God of War without playing the others.
Yeah, so Skull and Bones, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That might be one that I actually invest in getting when it comes out.
No, absolutely. And Tyra says, "You will not be lost. It is a continuation from the Greek gods. He left to the land of the Norse. He left to the land of the Norse gods and started a family." So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So, James, as we are winding down here, again, another long one this week.
Yeah.
anything else going on in your life you'll want to share with the audience, or anything to discuss or talk about?
No, not right now. I think we'll go ahead and leave it on that. Oh, we do have to talk about one thing where we oh man, we lost another one.
Sonny. Anyone who's seen The Godfather, this was a big hit.
Yeah.
James Caan, brilliant actor.
That guy was, he was like, I think he was good, but underrated. I think that's the.
I agree. I think he was significantly underrated. Probably in recent years, best known for his work in Las Vegas.
Which you know what? Living here, I am 100% surprised that they did not even attempt to make that hotel, because that hotel, the Montesino from Las Vegas, would have been an amazing hotel.
Yeah,
with the waterfall coming out the side. Yo, what?
Right. But James Caan passing away was for me a big blow, because I love Godfather. I remember those films from when I was in my teens, I think.
Yikes!
And
Mark, I damn near got disowned this evening, people, because I haven't actually seen The Godfather. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go. Oh, you know what? They probably have it on someplace now because James Caan died, unfortunately.
Paramount Plus.
Oh, Paramount Plus. Dang, I don't have Paramount Plus. Maybe I can get the week trial or whatever. But whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The Godfather and Godfather 2 are really good. 3
is the one that I heard is kind of the best bastard stepchild.
Well, and they've come out with a quasi
the video game for it.
So there was the Godfather video game, which basically followed the exact storyline of the film, which I absolutely loved and adored. I still wish that Mario Puzo, who wrote The Godfather, I wish his estate would allow a video game maker to remake the video game. It is hands down, still to this day, one of the best video games I ever played.
Just Tyra says, James, you're fired. The Godfather, bro, get on it.
Godfather is a standard. I won't talk to you until you watch it after this episode. So you need to watch it before next week, because I can't be your friend anymore now that I know this. Well, and what bothers me even more is we've lived together, and I've had the Blu-ray set since before we were living together. So it's like, bro, why didn't you ever?
Like I said, I just I've seen a few of these movies. Like I told you, I think I saw Goodfellas for the first time like last year. So but yeah, I'll get on it.
I don't think you understand. And just to be clear, before we wrap this thing up, AFI, American Film.
Sorry, Tyrus. You missed last week because Mark actually did. Mark, he says, Mark, we're still waiting on the Batman review.
That was last week.
We did that last week.
Which means you need to go back and listen or watch that episode.
Yeah. I thought you were here last week, but yeah, we talked about it last week. And have I seen Casino? I won't answer that question.
Yeah, the answer is no, you haven't. But just to be clear, James, so that you understand, AFI, which I assume you've heard
top
of.
One, yeah, the 100 American Film Institute, the top 100 films. Like I think Godfather's like number 1 or something like that.
No. It's not number 1. I mean, Citizen Kane is number 1.
Oh, Citizen Kane. I've seen that movie though.
That's good. But yes, Godfather number 2.
Okay.
Number 2 greatest film of all time.
Okay.
It beats out Casablanca.
Really?
So just to be clear, you as an actor, or you claim to be an actor, have not watched the number 2
greatest film of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that looks like I got work to do. Okay.
Yeah, you've got a week, because if you haven't watched Godfather by this time next week, you're fired. I will bring Tyrus in as the new Black
Oh wow!
of Fat and Black Connection.
Wow!
Yeah. So there you go. That's your challenge for the next week.
All right.
So James Caan, big loss, and you'll have a better appreciation for him in a week or less. Yeah. Big hit, big blow. He hasn't done much.
He did, yeah. Like since, like I think, like I said, I think the last thing that I really remember him was Las Vegas, and that was, I enjoyed that show quite a bit. But yeah, like super underrated.
Yeah, I will tell you there. Right after it came out that he had passed, I went straight to his IMDb to see what he had done recently.
Mm-hmm.
And not too recently, 2012, he had done a film, an Adam Sandler film, My Boy.
Yeah.
And so I went and watched it just because I was like, I feel like I need to watch something with him in it. Have you watched that film?
I mean, I didn't. I remember hearing about it. I just didn't. I wasn't. That was like the one Adam Sandler film that I was like, not really interested in.
For an Adam Sandler film, it wasn't bad because a lot of the characters that he played are somewhat annoying. This one was annoying, but the film was pretty good.
Okay.
And James Caan had a small part in the film, but a very
like
enjoyable
or something
part.
like that.
No. A very enjoyable part. I'll leave it at that. I don't. If nothing else, just out of respect for the man, go watch that film too.
All right.
So James, another week, another episode down, almost an hour and a half in. I'm only 2 beers in.
I have finished all 3 of mine.
Well, in my 2 beers, I had 32 ounces, and in your 3, you had 36. So,
yeah.
Yes, your beers are 12 each.
What's IBUs?
Isn't that something to do with fire?
I don't know. Like it
says irritable bowel units. I don't know. Have fun on the toilet later.
I'm about to take a number 2.
Yeah, you're about. Okay, yeah, I'll leave you with this before we sign off, and to try and lighten the mood. So I'm listening to talk radio this morning, as I occasionally do, and they were talking about a guy who was admitted to a hospital this last week. And
this has to be good.
And the reason he was admitted to the hospital is because instead of using toilet paper when using the restroom, he had been using sanitation wipes.
What? Like Clorox wipes?
Basically. And needless to say, the song by Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire, had a new meaning.
This man burnt out his butthole?
Basically. You're
using bleach wipes, bro. Come on, man. They have flushable wipes.
I've heard of people bleaching their butthole before, but that's usually intentional.
Yes, that's a total intentional thing, and it's normally done by white people. But yeah, okay. I mean, look, bro. If you needed, if I knew this guy, I have Clorox, or not Clorox. I have Cottonelle flushable wipes here, man. You could. That's all you needed to do. Go to Costco, get you some flushable wipes, not some Clorox wipes. I bought Clorox wipes too, but that was for different reasons, so I could clean up my bathroom and
not to wipe your doo-doo hole.
Yeah, that's not no, bro. Come on, fam. Like, ooh,
yeah,
yikes.
Yeah. Welcome to America.
And listen, I was actually talking to somebody earlier today, and I was like, yo, sometimes. Actually, and this has happened over the past couple of days. I don't know how we survived as a species sometimes. Because, man, people are, if you don't tell them what to do, sometimes they have zero clue. Zero clue.
Yes, and I guess Tyrus felt like I was left out since I'm not seeing the messages. He sent me a text.
Oh, did he?
Dude was cleaning and bleaching his butthole at the same time. He was maximizing his time. Multitasking.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man. So, James, I don't got much else to say, man. I feel like
Oh, hey, Brian says you could pass on your jeans with a flaming butthole. Yikes. Man, good thing we didn't have El Jefe here tonight, bro, because this would have sent him down a rabbit hole for sure.
Right.
Oh man.
I don't got much else to say, man.
No,
you got anything?
I'm good, man. It was an honor. I got some movies to watch apparently.
Yes, and you've got a week.
Yes.
Tyrus, I need you to be on standby. You might need to take next Wednesday off because you might need to assume the mantle of Black.
Oh man. No, I'm gonna get that done. I'm gonna get it done. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna figure it out.
Fair enough. Well,
figure it out.
Speaking of Tyrus, he is actually going to be here in just a couple of weeks to hang out with your boy.
Oh yeah, hey Tyrus. When you go to Shush Boom, I need you to make sure you do the flights and you tell me what you think of those flights, man, because they got some really good beers. I'm mad because the dude told me, one of the owners, when we went there last time when I was out there, he told me that they had an apple pie beer on tap that they just ran out of, and I was heated because I was like, yo, that would have probably been delicious. But
yeah, so Tyrus will be up here. We're gonna head up to get some Brazilian barbecue.
Yes, sir.
We'll definitely check out Shush Boom, get some beer.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good time, and we will do some hopefully live broadcasting as the modified Fat and Black Connection.
Yep.
Somebody's got to pick up that moniker when you're not available.
Yeah.
So, I don't got much else, man. I think it's time to shut her down.
Yes, sir. Oh, hey, by the way, if you guys do not watch Orville, like, get on that, because this past season has been ridiculously good, and they've covered some hard stuff as well. So, like, get on that.
We can talk about
We'll
Orville
talk about that next week. Yeah.
That last week's episode.
Yo.
Dude.
Two was I can't remember the character's name, but yeah, yo. Yeah. And then the episode with Gordon this past week, I was like, whoa.
I haven't watched today's episode yet, so
that's not out yet. That comes out in a few hours. So it's Thursday they drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gordon's episode last week, and before that, the episode with
Two Topas.
Yeah, that's
Tale of Two Topas.
Yeah, we
that
can
was super tough. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll spend some time talking about those next week. So if you haven't gotten caught up on Orville, go get caught up on Orville.
Absolutely.
Good
New
God.
Horizons has just gone to a whole new level.
And Tyrus is requesting his own special show when he's here.
You know what? I give you my blessing. 100%.
Yeah.
You can have that show.
We'll figure that out. Tyrus, make sure when you come up to bring your equipment with you.
Yes.
Because it's kind of hard to do a show just through phones. I mean, we can do it, but
it's not fun.
We've tried doing that, like at Disneyland and stuff. It's rough.
It's okay. It works, but not really.
Yeah. Anyways, James, as always, it's a displeasure to work with you. So
get the hell out of here.
So it's been real. It's been fun. But as always, working with you, it's not real fun.
Real fun, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. All right, guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week.